Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gray Area, episode 8. Terrance, you know 8's my favorite number, actually?
Yes, sir.
You did know that?
No, I didn't know.
No, you said yes, like a crazy person.
Yeah.
My name's Giuseppe. That's Terrance, the guy who just yelled like he's in special classes.
What's up, people?
We're back,
Well,
Terrance.
I'm excited. I'm always excited, actually.
I
I'm
love this show
excited to get to
personally,
talk to the world. I'm excited,
Not to me, though.
No, not to talk to you. So, I gotta do
I
this
give a shit
every
about
week.
you.
So
I understand.
Yeah,
Now,
no,
this is just a
it's
platform
the
to talk
world
to
I'm thinking
people.
about.
Yeah, me. You
Yeah,
just
yeah,
don't,
I've known
I
you
like
for
talking to you, but
fucking 10 years.
we don't have to talk about that. And it's fine. It's
You know?
awkward now.
No, man. How's your week, man?
Week's been busy, Terrance. School has really been creeping up on me, man. A lot of stuff. I think I told you on the backcourt. Or did I tell you? I don't think I did. Anyway, I did on Sunday. I took hours before I was trying to get done before the All-Star break. The All-Star game started. It took me probably like 5 hours total to do. I did a 1,300 word paper, and the subject was a 28 word poem. That was the subject that I read about.
That's impressive, though, that you pulled how many words?
1,300, man.
You pulled 1,300 words out of 28.
Terrance, I agree. I
impressive,
was a little like impressed myself. I mean, hopefully I get a good grade. If it's like a fucking 50, then I guess I wasn't very good. But I was pretty impressed. I was like, you know what? Because I could have chosen other poems. It was poems that we went over, and I was like, you know what? Like I kind of like the poem's kind of funny actually, but I was like, It doesn't really matter this length of the poem. There's a million things to talk about. So
Okay, all right.
I'm busy, man. I don't know. It's been a busy week. I mean, I feel like I don't have time for anything, but now I get to hang out with you, so I'm looking forward to it.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I like it.
Before we get started, I do have a little bit of a surprise for you, Terrance.
Oh shit, son.
Okay, you ready for this? No, I gotta say something, so you just gotta let it happen, okay?
What's up?
Okay, here we go. Don't interrupt. Okay, ready? KNJDHVB RWZOIFUT QWEXAG PMSLNC. That was the alphabet in a different order. You said I couldn't do it. Gotcha. There we go.
That was impressive, sir.
See that?
That, my friend, that was impressive.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a few weeks ago, Terrance said, I told Terrance, I said, isn't it crazy we don't need the order for the alphabet? It's just like a thing we created to remember it.
That was good, Joe. You know what? I thought you couldn't do it. I'm happy you were able to achieve that feat. Let's that was
thank you.
That was something.
Appreciate that.
That was something, man.
But yeah, I told Terrance, it's kind of crazy to think about. And he said, well, no, you have to keep it in that order. And I said, I meant to do this last week, but I was like, I'll reorder it and it'll sound weird, but it's still the same alphabet. Nothing's changed, just the order. I mean,
do you remember it? Are you reading that? Did you read that?
What does it matter? It's still impressive regardless. The point wasn't to memorize it or not to memorize it. The point was to create the reorganized alphabet.
You know what? I give you points for it. I'll give you points.
I mean, Terrance, listen. All I'm saying is if someone,
it's not easy. It's not
if
easy.
someone went over that, I obviously memorized it. I wouldn't have been able to say.
No,
so
yeah.
well.
If you go over a few times,
if someone had created this alphabet and that was the order, then nothing in our lives would change other than singing that song. That's all I'm saying. It's crazy to think about, right? Like we think of the alphabet as this very specific thing, but it's totally doesn't have.
But it was also the rhythm and the pattern,
right? And they obviously would have slightly adjusted we've kind of created the LMNOP, like we kind of created that. But
that helps. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm saying the order I did, we could have made like a better song. Technically, I just went with the same song, but there could have been a slight adjustment to the song.
I like that. That was good. That was a good surprise to start off.
Appreciate that, Terrance. Black History Year continues. Do you have a shout out?
Yes,
of course you do.
Of course I do. Who would I be? What
you would not be my co-host on the show. You'd be some other guy. We just stroll.
Like who would I be? What I would probably be banned from all Black people meetings if I didn't show up with a Black person to shout out.
Well, we do when you go to the next meeting, Terrance, you need to bring up we talked about that. We need to bring up the fact that the shortest month of the year is Black History Month.
Oh no, yeah, that's on the top of the agenda.
Yeah, okay. So who's the special shout out this week, Terrance? Who's our person of the week?
Our person of the week is actually gonna go, because I know you can't see it. The person of the week is actually gonna go out to Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. Okay.
Wesley Snipes. So like this, I don't know why. Don't ask me why, right? So like, obviously
well, you're supposed to tell us. He's
in a Coming to America movie, that just came out on Amazon Prime with Eddie Murphy and everything like that, right?
How was that, by the way?
But I started thinking, I didn't watch it. I'm gonna probably watch it tonight or whatever. But I started thinking, I was like, yo, Wesley Snipes is dope. Like New Jack City, Blade.
Talk about that. You talked about New Jack City.
New Jack. He's in. I'm telling you, bro. Like you gotta see New Jack City. He was gonna be in Star Trek Next Generation, but he didn't get the part. He was gonna be I don't know, the black guy with the beam in front of the guy or whatever.
Yeah. I should know that actually, but I don't.
Yeah, like you watch Star Trek, you know about that shit.
Wesley Snipes' apartment in New York was destroyed in the World Trade Center collapse.
No, I didn't.
That's insane. He wasn't there. He was in the West Coast, but that's crazy.
He was supposed to be in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. He turned that down.
Wow. That was not a good choice.
That wasn't a good choice.
I mean, it's a good movie. He should have been in it.
But I mean, he was in Passenger 57 in Demolition Man.
Passenger 57. Passenger 57 was the Die Hard type movie, right? That was when everyone was making Die Hard films.
Yeah.
What was it? A plane, I think.
That was that was the plane. Yeah, that
Die
was
Hard
the plane.
The plane. Yeah,
that was the plane. Demolition Man, Money Train.
I'm sorry. Is Always Bet on Black from him?
Yes.
You just said that on the backcourt too. That's
yes.
Everything's coming full circle. I love it.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes, man. Wesley Snipes is just a dope.
By the way, I don't want to gloss over that you mentioned Demolition Man. I fucking love Demolition Man.
You like Demolition Man?
So you haven't seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh my god, it holds up. It's kind of a crazy movie, but I saw it like a couple years ago recently to rewatch it. Also, you want to know the two main characters? Check these names out: Sylvester Stallone, John Spartan. Which I think, by the way, is that the name of the Halo character? Might be.
What?
Wesley Snipes' name in the movie? Simon Phoenix. I mean, those are just 90s action hero names, weren't they?
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, you can call.
Wasn't he in The Art of War as well?
The Art of War. He was in White Man Can't Jump.
He's in White Man Can't Jump. White Man Can't Jump.
Don't see anything about The Art of War.
Really good movie.
Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
Yeah.
No, I never saw it or heard of it for that one.
Art of War. Brooklyn's Finest was another good.
That movie was weak as hell. Sorry.
It was good. It was good.
My biggest problem with that film? It follows like three main people. So it follows Don Cheadle, follows Ethan Hawke, and it follows Richard Gere. There's no point of that. Nothing happens with those three characters. It's literally three separate stories that never interact. I was like, what's the fucking point of this?
It was pretty good. Really kind of like cool thing that he did. He actually learned like jujitsu and kickboxing and kung fu for like, all the action movies that he was in and shit like that.
Did he?
Yeah, like so he actually.
What was that movie he made about the White House? Murder at 1600. I saw that when I was a kid.
No, you're the movie buff, man.
I don't remember anything about it, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, shout out to Wesley Snipes.
He was Blade. Gotta mention Blade. You know what? There's a good. Listen, Wesley Snipes is pretty legit. According to this, he knows Hapkido. He's a fifth Dan black belt in Shotokan karate. He's almost 60 years old, man. Get up there.
Yeah. I remember the first Blade movie. My pops took me and my brother to see the first Blade movie.
First one was great, I remember. I don't remember anything now, but
the scene where they're in a nightclub and like he's like fucking everybody up and everything like that. And then like he gets like in this hole and he throws the blade around the whole room and everybody gets cut and there's just blood everywhere.
I think so.
I threw up popcorn. My pops had to take me out of the theater.
Why? Why'd you throw your popcorn?
I threw it up.
You threw it up. The movie was so good. You just threw up.
It was so much blood happening in the movie. Like,
how old were you? I mean, you saw it in theaters. You must have been like 8 years old, probably then, because it came out in like 98.
Damn, Blade.
Came out
Yeah,
in
the first
'98, so
Blade.
I
Yeah,
presumably
yeah,
you
yeah. I
were.
was young. Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah, I was young.
Terrence, I've never in my life thrown up from like a reaction outside of like I've never seen something and felt so sick I threw up. Like if I was just sick or if I drank too much, maybe, but never
Yeah,
like, oh my God, blah.
I'm one of those people. Like my stomach gets weak when somebody else throws up.
Well, yeah,
Like
that's common. Yeah.
yeah, like somebody else throwing up makes my like stomach weak, and I'm like, oh no,
So
I gotta get away from
I guess
it.
the question everyone's asking, Terrence, is did you finish the film eventually? Have you ever actually seen the whole movie?
No, no, I saw the whole movie. I
Okay.
saw the whole
Still waiting.
movie. Um, you had to. It's Blade. It's one of my favorite series trilogies now. So,
Blade
I
was
definitely
pretty
saw the whole thing.
legit. Are they trying to remake that?
They are trying to remake it, and I hope they bring Wesley back, just
You
like
got
an
to bring him back in
older,
some capacity.
yeah, just like an older Blade.
I do
Don't
know
change
they're
anything.
also bringing back Spawn with Jamie Foxx. Do you hear about this?
Whoa, no,
Jamie Foxx is. I mean, they
what?
should have just gotten Michael J. White back. Michael J. White,
Why?
but why are they making it again?
No, why would you cast Jamie Foxx?
Don't really know, man. I mean, he's an A-list star is probably the answer. At least they kept someone black. They didn't just hire some other white guy. But um, yeah, it's they said it's
Oh
gonna be a
God,
hard R, which I'm looking forward to.
Michael J. White did a great job in the first
Yeah,
Spawn.
he did. He should. We should remember we saw him at Comic-Con. Remember during Black Dynamite?
Oh shit!
Me,
Which, by the
you,
way,
Hip.
man, I gotta go watch Black
I
Dynamite
never even
again.
saw it, man. I
Black,
never saw those times.
you never saw Black Dynamite?
All this time I meant to, and I don't think I've ever seen it like on a streaming thing. Sometimes that reminds you to watch a movie. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Black Dynamite has some of the most hilarious
I heard it's
has
brilliant.
some of the
Yeah,
most hilarious scenes ever. Like it doesn't make sense the shit that they were able to do in Black Dynamite. Like I love Black Dynamite like that. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
what
Like
was
I'm really gonna watch that
what
tonight.
was Hip's question? I think Hip asked a question to Michael J. White, and it was like you don't remember that?
No.
I believe he asked like I think it's one scene in the movie, in he was referencing like Michael J. White says like, oh, I bend over, girl, let me take your temperature. Or something like that. And he I think Hip asked, he was like, did you ever get that girl's temperature? And he was like, oh, that's a parking lot question, but I ain't answering that. You remember that?
No, I didn't. I never saw
I
that
remember
one.
that shit was funny, man. I remember I was like, because Hip was like, I should ask a question. I was like, yeah, ask it, dude. Like, do it. Like he waited online and
I never saw that. I never saw that. It was Black Diamond is dope. I'm actually, and then the cartoon was dope too.
this cartoon.
Yeah. Oh god damn, Joe.
Listen, I can't know
Came out
everything.
on what's the thing? Adult Swim.
That makes sense. Like so that's some
Yeah, yeah,
Samurai
yeah.
Jack shit and Afro Samurai. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, Black Dynamite on Adult Swim, whatever. Yeah,
And of course,
HBO Max has it.
as we go to the next segment, Terrence, I really want to point out Pandemic Day 363. 2 days away from the
2 days
anniversary.
away.
Terrence. Can you believe that shit's been a year?
That's weird.
1 year ago, the NBA was like, sorry, guys, season's over. Isn't that crazy?
That's weird, man.
Also, a special shout out to all the women listening. Is of course the day after International Women's Day, so we appreciate you.
We love you.
We talk about that in the back court as well. We love women. Women are the best.
Yes. We
shout
love
out to my
women.
mother, grandmother, sisters.
Shout outs to a baby girl. You know, women, you make the world go round.
Thanks.
We appreciate you.
I like this effect. I like that one. I don't mind that. Little cheers for everybody. But yeah, Terrence. Terrence, I want to play a little game. Actually, I think you might enjoy. Thought about something. Okay. So as you know, of course, about brand names and everything, right? So I want to go over some brand names that aren't that we have in America that are called something different in other places in the world. Okay, but I want you to see if you can guess them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be fun. It's pretty interesting ones. All right. No looking this up, by the way. So you know, of course, Cool Ranch Doritos, right?
Okay.
Do you know what they're called in Europe?
Not Doritos.
They're called Doritos, but they're not called Cool Ranch.
Do you know the flavor is not called Cool Ranch.
Yeah. This I love. I've heard this years ago, but I love this one.
I don't know.
They're called Cool American.
What?
Yeah, it's called Cool American. It's fucking brilliant. Isn't that brilliant?
No, Cool American Doritos.
Yeah,
Why
but
would
you want
Doritos do that?
do you want to know why?
What's the
It's
yeah,
because
like
it's because ranch is really only a thing in America. Other countries like a really like they rarely ever use ranch, but in America, like obsessed with it. So
hmm,
they just call it cool American.
ranch is amazing with some wings.
It's overrated. Anyway, all right. So KFC, KFC is called KFC everywhere except for Quebec because Quebec is French and they insist on changing it.
It's
So
Kentucky. How are you changing
now,
Kentucky
Terrence,
fried chicken?
now I want you to I want you to guess what the three letters are. Now Kentucky is in fact still in it, so that's your hint. There's a K.
So there's a K.
Yeah. What do you think the other
There's
letters
still
are?
a K.
Still a K.
Okay, so they took away fried chicken. So it's Kentucky.
Well, hold on. Now they didn't. They have to translate it, Chance. They didn't take it away. They have to translate it into French. So what do you think it's in French?
Oh,
Just you can give me the initials. I want you to guess whatever you think. It's three letters. Blank blank K is what I'll tell you.
KUG or UGK.
No, it's PFK because in French it is poulet frit Kentucky. I guess that's fried chicken over there. Same logo and everything though, but PFK.
That sounds nasty.
I don't know about
sounds nasty. Very nasty.
All right, this one I think is pretty good.
Kentucky.
It sounds actually kind of nice. Sounds better than what it is. All right, Terrence. So you know Mr. Clean, of course.
Oh man.
So in the U.S. it's Mr. Clean. Now in Germany, and say again, everything looks identical, but the name has changed. So,
oh damn.
Now, do you know what they say? What the word is, Mr. in German?
So, does he have hair in Germany?
He looks identical. Same everything. Just the name changed. Do you know what Mr. is in German? That's your first clue. It's Meister.
Ah,
so what do you think? It's
Meister. Okay, yeah, Meister. I
don't think.
Okay,
it's pretty random.
Meister and Clean, right? Okay, so Clean would be Kleinster.
We just offended our German listeners. It's Meister proper. I don't know if they say it that way, but proper. But everything else is identical. That's the thing. A lot of these things look identical. They just changed the names.
Okay. All right.
This is
bad.
How this got brought up to my attention, Terrence. When I was watching the All-Star game, legally, of course, it was an Australian stream. And I realized it's the one place they don't call Burger King is in Australia because of some ridiculous copyright. Do you know what they call it? Yes. I'll give you a hint. It's similar to a frozen dinner that men are supposed to eat.
Hungry Man?
Close. Hungry Jacks. That's what they call it.
Oh, Hungry Jack.
And the logo is the same. It's the two patties just in between Hungry Jacks.
I'm not mad at that one.
That one's not bad, to be honest.
I'm not mad at that one. But Hungry Jack to us is the isn't that the pancakes?
Is
it Hungry Jack?
There's something with Jacks and pancakes, isn't there? Is this Jacks maybe?
No, I think it's Hungry Jack. Hungry Jack is a pancake. Gotta be.
Right now. Let's look it up with the power of the internet.
Because flapjacks.
Jacks pancakes. Oh, wait a minute. There's an autofill for it. Yeah, 100%. You nailed it. 100% right, Terrence.
Hungry Jack pancakes, right?
100% right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was about to say that makes sense.
It's funny because the logo and everything's identical. This one is fantastic in my opinion. Okay, so DiGiorno, also obviously US. So I'm gonna give you two hints for this one. It's not called DiGiorno in Canada, right? Your two hints are that the tagline is identical. It's not delivery. It's still the same.
Oh, and it's not delivery as DiGiorno, but it's
with not DiGiorno. And the second hint is it's what you think of. It's I don't know if this is an Italian word, but it's what you'd think of as an Italian word. That sounds like good, appealing, or appetizing.
Italian word that sounds good.
Croissant. It's not delivery. It's
croissant.
That's French, you fucking idiot.
No, my bad.
Remember, it's the same tagline. So think about that. Well, the word has to start with a specific letter in that case.
I don't know.
You know, get this. Delicioso.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry, Delicio, not the Delicio. It's not delivery, it's Delicio. That's brilliant.
Oh, just bullshit.
Some of them are interesting. Like, so Milky Way in everywhere but the US is called Mars bars, right? But then what's crazy when you add that in is that In everywhere else, they have a Milky Way, but it's actually what we call Three Musketeers. Very confusing.
I hate Milky Way and Three Musketeers.
I love both of them personally. Not that I've had one in like over a year, but all right. So the last couple. So Budweiser, North America. In Europe, it's called something very similar, but there's apparently a lawsuit that's been going on for over 100 years. I don't know how it's possible. What do you think it's called? Very similar. Very similar. In fact, it's
No clue.
okay. I'll
No
give you a
clue.
hint. The name is in the word Budweiser.
Uh, The name isn't Wiser.
No, the other one. It's Bud. They just call it Bud in Europe. That's the actual brand. Just Bud. It just says brand on it. No, that's kind of weird.
That's annoying.
It's just annoying. This is an
Yeah.
interesting one. In Japan, what do you think they call always tampons? It's an American word, obviously, been translated. Well, actually, the picture is the same. It's in English, but it's an interesting one.
Joe, I have no idea what any of this
Guess.
shit is, right? Like,
That's the point. You're supposed
I
to
have
guess.
no clue about Japan, how to even say anything.
Well, if you did, this wouldn't be much of a game now, would it?
So it always in Japanese would.
It's not always in Japanese. It's
Because
actually
I'm gonna say some.
It's just a
shit
different
and
word.
Probably gonna be a little offensive because I don't want to try to sound.
It's just a different word, Terrance.
But in Japanese.
No, it's in English. I just told you.
Oh, it's in English. Okay, I'm sorry. I missed that one. I'm sorry. In English, just a different
what would
word.
you? Yeah.
All instead of always.
Instead of always.
Instead of well, a synonym for always.
It's not actually. It's not. It has nothing to do with the word always. It's kind of something that you might do if you wanted one of these, if that makes sense.
If I wanted a tampon?
Yeah. How would you ask for it? Not you, a woman, obviously.
Please?
Whisper, actually. Terrance, whisper is what they're called.
What? No, come on.
It just has, it's in appearance Whisper Maxi Fit. It's weird, right?
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
So the last one's, is this one? Well, no, I'm not doing that one. Helmet's called Best Food everywhere except for apparently the East Coast of America, which is weird, right? I think we talked about that. It's called Best Foods in the West Coast, but also in every other country. So I don't really understand.
I think I heard about that somehow.
Probably for me. You know, this is a weird one. Kraft mac and cheese in Canada. It's called Kraft Dinner. They just it's called dinner. Like, how's that a thing? Like, why wouldn't they just call it mac and cheese?
I mean, some people think mac and cheese is just like the main side, you know.
I mean, I guess, but why would you call it Kraft Dinner, not just, hey, this is mac and cheese? Like, you're being less specific. Anyway, the last two, Terrance. This one I actually think is better. So we call it Diet Coke. What do you think they call it in some other countries?
Non-Diet Coke or not nope. Coke?
No, it's not bad. They call it Coca-Cola Light, which makes sense. I'd actually prefer that.
Okay.
And then the last one, Starburst. What do you think they call that in the UK?
Oh, mouth waters.
Mouth waters? No.
Yeah, gotta be mouth waters.
Opal Fruits.
Yeah, I like mouth waters better.
You think we should call them up?
That's just what happens when you have a Starburst.
Also, they don't call the Toyota Highlander that in Japan. I think it has something to do with Highlander, something to do with like an actual Japanese thing. Like a samurai. Isn't that like a Highlander, like a type of thing? Isn't that like I think it is, right? Yeah.
Good movie, by the way, too.
Dude, I need to rewatch it. It's been a long old time since I watched Highlander. Only be one. Anyway, I hope that was fun for the listeners. You didn't seem to play ball like I thought you would, but that's all right.
It's super like weird. Like I think it's just too many. You know, like it's just like, all right, well, there's no way anyone's gonna think of how.
Did you find them interesting? Some of these crazy names.
No, yeah, like of course, because I think the way that they market overseas is just completely different over here. I think Americans are dumb, so they have to make things like just very simple for us. but
Right.
over there it probably makes sense, like you said
Some of
with the
them weren't
Japanese
necessarily
one.
making it simple. It was just like copy, like Hungry Jacks. Like that's just, I don't know. That's just because they had a copyright thing with Burger King.
Yeah, but when you think about it as well, like it's like, okay, well, you're saying exactly what it is. Like here we call it Burger King.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds stupid now when you're just like, okay, where are
It
you
was
going?
originally
I'm
called
going to Hungry Jack because
it
I'm going
was
to get
originally
food.
called Insta Burger King. You know that? They should have kept that. Now it'd been huge for the Instagram crowd, but that was back in the '60s. They didn't know.
Oh, they missed the
Yeah,
missed the
they would have.
boat.
They would have been. Yeah, that's a big deal. They could use that.
Yeah, they missed the
I mean,
boat.
Burger King is it's about burgers, you know, as opposed
Yeah.
to Hungry Jack, which is just like I don't know, just food.
Yeah.
Terrance, I want to talk about something.
What's up?
And we might actually, for everyone listening, we may have a special guest for this topic, depending on how the topic goes. A few weeks ago, we talked about like the Mets GM who sent like 65 texts to this woman and then sent her a dick pic, and that got us talking about a few things. And one of the things we talked about was you said like if a guy's messaging a woman or anyone's messaging anyone over and over, not responding, you said they should block them, and I said they shouldn't have to, right?
Yeah.
And we said, you know, what do women think? We said we should get like a female correspondent, as we said almost every show. And yeah, and just we want to know what does a woman say? Like 65 texts, what is that? Like why like, do you ever respond to people who's texting you? And then also, yeah, should the woman block the person? Because I think no, it's not. They shouldn't have to do that. You should stop texting them or messaging them if they're not interested.
You did say that. I now.
Oh boy.
So I have a confession.
Oh God.
Right.
Just between me and you, of course.
Yeah, between you and me, you know, safe place.
Yeah, I won't tell anybody.
I was one of those guys.
Oh my God. Sam.
Now, I know what we're thinking. I know what we're thinking.
Yeah, you got to clarify for me
because harassing someone and everything like that.
Hold on. Before, what were you're saying? You were saying you were a guy who...
okay. What I'm saying is that what I mean by I was one of those guys. I've done it before. It's not like a consistent thing.
Texting a girl like 65 times,
yes,
sending a dick pic. Which one of these things?
My girlfriend now. I've only sent a dick pic after she asks. But
for any woman.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's important to make that clear.
But my girlfriend now, Corey.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, lovely woman that she is.
Talking,
hey, Corey.
Yeah. Don't compliment too much.
I mean, I can't say how amazing she is on today, the day after International Women's Day.
I don't give a damn.
Okay, fine. Then she's terrible. That's what you think of her? Fine. Hope she hears this and she slaps you.
I'd rather you hate her.
You want me to hate her? What are you talking about? Okay, I guess. I've always wanted you like my girlfriends.
I text Corey one night. It was a random night. I was out. I was hanging out or whatever.
Where were you in the relationship?
Had a couple
you just
drinks.
started talking to her? Where were you?
Yeah, we definitely just started talking. We were probably like a couple of days in.
Mm-hmm.
And
after the Canal Street
after the Canal Street debacle. But I sent her probably like 40 messages back to back to back.
How did it start though? Like
I basically was talking to myself. Here's the thing. I was going then.
Like, hold on a second, Terrance. Let's back up a second. Did you text her? She didn't respond. So you kept going, or did you just randomly go off on a bunch of?
I think I texted her and then she responded, and then like I just kept going. I just kept hitting. Like Terrance. I'm basically having a conversation with myself.
All right, so you just started texting her too many times, basically.
Yeah. It got scary. Here's the thing: you really should not text anybody when you're drunk. All right.
Well, hold on a second. It was scary, like because you were just texting her, or did you start some crazy shit?
No, it was scary because when I woke up the next day, I realized how fucking insane I looked.
Did you say anything crazy, like nuts to her, or were you just not stopping? Like, was it like, I was come over there and
like, hey, like I really care about you, and you know, all of these other girls mean nothing, and you know, this
that's not like
crazy. I don't want to be out. I was kind of like professing my love to a woman I just met a week ago.
So, okay, this is what I'll say. I don't think that's as bad. That's not in the same category to me as the Mets GM who was texting a woman who didn't want to talk to him. This is you talking to a girl and then you went a little too much, but she was already like talking back. Like you already established like a thing. So it's not good. You look like a loser, but it's not like a
Oh
guy
no,
who's.
I look like a huge fucking
But
loser.
again, it's different between. But that's different than a woman who is like, I don't know who this person is and won't stop texting me or messaging me.
Yeah, I look like a huge loser.
I
And
mean,
then
how did it end
like
up
it
working
just,
out?
I mean, I'm a spin artist, ain't I?
I
I
mean,
just I make it look good and make it sound good.
yeah.
So
So she
that's
never did
it.
she ever respond to any of that night, or she just didn't say anything at all?
She was like, we talked about it one time, and she was like, no, like you kind of creeped me out.
But
Like it
what
was
I'm saying, what happened? Like, did she respond that night, or did she, the
no, no,
next
no.
day
She
you
didn't
had to
respond
go?
that night.
So
Like
the next day you were like,
the
oh,
next day, because she didn't respond at all. So the next day I sent like a hey, sorry about last night. Like it was too much. It was
it's
way too much.
understatement. It sounds like, but yeah,
It was way too much.
it's too much.
I'm sorry. I'm
Wow.
sorry. I'm sorry. So, what is it like? What's doing too much though? Like, what is it when a guy does too much? Like,
Well, it depends on the
do
situation.
we
Like,
know when we're doing too much?
I mean, you did. You said you knew the next
I
day.
knew, but like in general, right? Like, what's
Well,
doing too
Terrence,
much?
I think it really depends. I think, listen, if you talk to a person once and you did what you did, I'd say that's terrible, and you should apologize and never speak to that person again. You've talked to her, you already knew Corey, you talked to her a handful of times, you already had like not a relationship, but you had like, you guys knew each other. So then you came off as, yeah, like someone she went to go, I'm not talking to this guy anymore. But it's not like you did anything horrible. It's different. Like if you right now, if you did that to Corey, it'd be like,
So,
well, you just again, I don't
so
know,
I
being an
gotta
idiot.
I gotta ask this then, right? So to get the girl, we have to impress her, right?
I mean, that's it, I guess, technically, yeah.
Right. I
Gotta give her
mean,
enough chickens, whoever gives the biggest chicken
you got to
wins.
give her something to be interested in. You got to impress her, right, to a point, right? So I guess the question I'm asking is like, okay, well, what's the point of impressing you too much or trying to do too much just to get your attention? I mean, it's called peacocking, right?
It's a fine line, Terrence. It's a fine
It's
line.
called peacocking. So like I'm clearly trying to show you, you know, enough to get your attention, not only to get your attention, but to lure you in
Well, that's again,
after
that
I get
sounds.
your
I wouldn't say
attention.
lure her in like you're a rapist, but um,
I mean, it's
it.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm just saying the phrasing you use. I don't know, Terrence. It just depends.
Phrasing.
Like, you don't have to impress her like peacock. I mean, it depends on the woman. Like some women are like, I think, don't really want that. You just need to be yourself. And if you're like, if she likes you and thinks you're like funny and friendly, that's impressing her technically, right? That's all it is. You don't need to necessarily do anything outlandish. I mean, like I've obviously gotten, like showing up and giving a girl flowers or like go, hey, I have this awesome date idea. And that's like impressive, quote unquote, but they're just appreciating the thought. That's the
Yeah.
impressive part.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, but
I think,
you kind of need a girl to tell you when you're doing too much, right?
yeah, I think what we need is a female correspondent. And I think, especially about the text messages, like when is it definitely too? I think I'm surprised Corey must have liked you. I don't think she would have put up with that early. I think a lot of guys do what you did in that situation, and the
Thank
girl's
you, babe.
like, too much. Yeah, thank you, but I can't say anything nice about you, Corey. Sorry, apparently Terrence doesn't like if I say that you're cool or something. So sorry, Corey, you're lame as hell. Apparently. Anywho,
I'm a jealous man.
apparently. Anywho, we have ourselves, Terrence, for the first time ever. We have a female correspondent.
Our first female correspondent.
So we're gonna see if we can get her in here.
Let's see. Hey.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Censored is what it
I'm
says in
under
your name.
Sorry, I'm under my daughter's name, I guess.
Well, okay. Please don't welcome censored this show. Who do we have on the line?
My name's Latoika.
Latoika.
Yes.
Do you go by Latoika? Or is there a different name you want us to call you by? I mean, Terrence knows you. I don't.
Toika's fine.
Toika?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll try to remember that.
There we go. Our first female
We
correspondent.
have our female correspondent in the field.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Welcome to the show. It's good to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Okay, Terrence, do you want to fill her in on what we're talking about?
I think I need to. So
Or do you want me to do it? It's up to you. I mean,
I mean, I was a creep, but
hell of a start. Hell of a start.
But I didn't know I was being a creep. All right. But I mean, and I think Joe, you're better at explaining it than I am. You can kind of lead it in with the base of it.
All right. So basically, this is how the questions. A few weeks ago, we talked about the GM of the Mets, the New York Mets, got got fired because he was caught that he met a woman, like a reporter, a foreign reporter, talked to her only one time, and then he texted her, and then she did stop responding, and then he eventually sent her like 65 unanswered texts.
What?
Right. That's what I said. And then eventually it ended with him sending her a dick pic. And then they found out, he got fired. So terrible, right? So now this brought up a bunch of questions. So we want to get a woman's perspective on it. So number one is if someone's messaging you, whether it's text or it's Instagram, whatever it is, my opinion was that if this guy is texting this woman, she's not responding, that's just a no. Stop talking to her. Terrance said, well, she should block him.
She should block him.
I said she shouldn't have to.
Okay, so let me explain. I could speak for most ladies. When we block a man, it's because we don't want to text you. It's not about you texting us. It's never that. We can ignore you all day. That's fine. But we block people so that we won't contact you. I don't think it's
interesting.
It's
so that's more of an emotional connection kind of thing.
Something else. Blocking.
I'm so happy we have you on the show because we never even thought about that. That was never a conversation.
Yeah, I didn't
Not even once did we say that.
Blocking is a whole nother level. Now you have the harassers that's just like, oh, I never met this person ever in life, and then you just block them. You don't care. But people like this guy, especially if he's famous, like, no, I'm not gonna block him. I'm just gonna ignore him. I'm gonna let you know that you're like every other guy, and you're doing the exact same thing that everyone else is doing.
Clearly, he didn't get the hint. He didn't get the hint
because he could either feel like because of who he is, like, bitch, you better get the hint. But I'm sorry, can I curse?
Yeah, of course.
But in a sense, some guys be bored. I have guys who will text you because you'll answer. Like they know you'll answer. Right. People just be bored in their own way. He probably really liked her, and he only met her once though. Like that's the thing. He just I mean, listen, he wasn't like famous. I mean, he was the GM, so he was known, but it's not like he was, Blake.
So you never had the guy you met one time, and now he's all in your DMs and all on your phone and everything like now. Like
it's extremely too much. But some people, like I said, some people who have a lot of money feel like that doesn't apply to them, and some people, normal regular people, they won't give up because that is the easiest way to get to you. Like until you literally block that communication, like they're gonna just try. They're gonna just do it.
So let me ask you a question. Has there ever been a guy like this who you met maybe once? You're not responding, but he keeps blowing you up. Do you, let's say it's been like months and once a week he reaches out. Do you ever actually go, you know what? He's being persistent. Let me talk to him.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn it. That is not the answer I expected.
But here's
Stop laughing, Terrance.
No, but Terrance is no, that's different. I'll answer you. I've had it happen a couple of times. I'll answer you because you're being polite and you're not trying to talk to me, and
he didn't send a dick pic.
Yeah, you're just hinting, just like you just want to be friends. But then the conversation that you'll get is like, they're like, "What's up? How was your day?" I'm like, "I was fine." I was like, "I noticed that you write me a lot, and I kind of really don't respond. How come you don't?" Like, I'll have a genuine. I can send you screenshots. Like, I'll have a genuine conversation with them. Some of them just be like, "I just need to try." I was like, "But it's rude." Like, I'll try to make you aware of what you're doing. I said, it'll be rude of me. You would think I'm real light skinned if I just didn't reply to you. But because I'm responding to you and telling you, hey, what's up? Or friend zoning you to the point where you've been in my inbox for years. Like, I've had guys in my inbox for years.
Listen, to anyone who's doing that, you're a fucking loser. Yeah. I don't care what anyone
That doesn't make sense. Why would someone see you to talk for years?
But this is
someone that's not replying.
This is something I brought up, though. I said there are guys who will do that. They'll text like once a month or whatever for a year, 2 years.
And
that's a job.
They feel like you owe them. Some of them feel like you owe them because they've been talking. Like, I've had guys say to me, I've been following you on social media for 2 years. So there's people who've been following me for 5 years who still didn't get a chance. It's not your turn. Like, don't do things. Okay, I shouldn't have said that. But don't. I learned that in the song today. It's just not your turn. But funny. Yeah, but in a sense, I don't owe you anything. You decided to talk to me for years, and you knew you wasn't going to get anywhere. And I've said throughout the years, hey, friends, hey, and I blatantly tell people, but because I politely tell them no, they feel like, I'll try again tomorrow.
Yep. That's the
It doesn't matter.
problem. That's the problem.
But
And if you're
I
mean,
shouldn't have
it
to be a
doesn't do it.
bitch. I shouldn't have to be.
No, I agree.
The first thing you'll say is I'm light skinned, or I think my shit don't smell. Like, no, if I politely tell you no, you should understand. Like, people should be aware of what words mean.
Okay, but do we think that men just still can't handle rejection now?
They cannot. I cannot at all.
You can't handle rejection?
I will text you, can I call you? I will text you, can I call you?
Listen,
I will never just randomly call you.
This is what I'll say about that. I think men have to know how to take rejection. And even if they don't, maybe they do stupid shit. Yeah, it's women who generally can't because they're not used to it. Like, guys get rejected every fucking day. Women, they don't.
Yeah. Okay. So now that you said that, Joe, that probably makes sense now.
Yeah. So I will do everything in my power to not be rejected for the day. Every day's goal is to never be rejected.
So how do you respond to that though? Like a dude rejecting you. How do you respond to that now?
How do I respond? I'm like in a corner listening to Mary J. Blige.
Oh, and Jesus.
I could have liked you for like 2 weeks and I'm like devastated. Jesus. Like I'm
told you
I'm
they don't see women don't. Yeah, that's the thing. Men are always like, not always, but you know, like men get rejected a lot. Like we try and it doesn't work, but women, like, they don't do that because they know there's like a line of guys or line of whatever interested in them, so they don't really get rejected like that.
Okay, no, so what's doing too much then?
Doing besides a lot, the text a lot.
Like
Terrance, hold on. Terrance, tell her the story you just told on the air about your current girlfriend, actually, and if it was too much.
I did it because I was one of those dudes that sent 40 text messages back to back.
But hold on. Get a reply. The important part to remember is I did that also. Hold on, he was already talking to her like for a few, what you said, days, few weeks, for a week. So it wasn't like a random. But then he went on a little drunk text.
Yeah, I was drunk
what did
texting.
You do? Do you tell me the story already?
I was drunk texting. I probably did. I don't know. But I was drunk texting one night and I hit her up and I basically was like professing and pouring my heart out. It was like, I love you.
You said I love you?
Terrance, yeah, you know, he told me this. Let me tell you something. Terrance is a different breed. Terrance is not, can I say, no, I'm not going to say that. Terrance is not the usual guy.
I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or not.
Listen, anytime you're not like a normal guy, it's a good thing. But in what way?
Terrance is not the typical what we would consider urban guy. Terrance is a stand-up guy. He's going to communicate something that regular men don't do. He's going to try and impress you.
That's true.
He's going to let you know if there's someone else. Other guys don't do these things. Terrance is a different type of creep.
Damn, I mean, it sounded good until the creep part.
Like he's not.
You're a different type of creep.
You're a different type of creep. That's the name of the episode right there. So okay, hold on a second. So let me ask you this then: how often, or do you know of any other women who the guys who just text ridiculous shit like, I just want you to sit on my face and all those insane things. How often do you ever return to them?
Okay, so let me definitely tell you what females do. We will get the dick pic and we will send it in our group chat and we will laugh at you for years. And then if we only have you on a certain social media that will let you know that we screenshotted you, we will screenshot you and it screenshot you asking why did you screenshot us and then put it in a. Like we don't care. Like dick pics they're outdated. Don't do that. I've seen so many dicks before I've actually met them. It's ridiculous. Okay, that doesn't sound
Terrance,
right.
You know what's funny, Terrance?
You identify them by dick.
You know what's funny though, Terrance? You actually you did say like you said when we talked about this, you were like dick pics are like 2010. What are we still doing that?
Like, don't send me that.
I agree.
Yeah,
I've never heard of a woman, and maybe it's happened, but I've never heard of a woman like a guy sends her a dick pic or even like a pic of his abs out of nowhere, and she's like, oh well, Let me go talk to this guy right
The
now.
That's
body
like
pics,
a dating app. That's a
the
dating
body,
app.
send the gym, just finished working out, gym pic. You
That's
know,
a date. That's on date. That's what's on dating apps. So I hate dick print pics on dating websites. I just want to write every guy and let them know everything that's wrong on their profile. Like those shirtless stuff like that. That's what you see. It's
Does
disgusting.
that work though? Do those
It
guys?
doesn't work.
That's what I always thought. Because any
wanna
woman
see
I've ever
somebody
talked to was like,
professional.
nah, it's lame.
No, you walking around the hood and everybody has their shirt off. So I don't want to go on a dating website and see you with your shirt off. No.
Straight
Like
from the
that-
source, gentlemen. Listen to
Yeah,
her.
it doesn't. It's horrible. I hate the ones with the dogs. Don't put your puppies. Don't put your kids.
That's the thirst
Don't
trap.
put
is
your
what that
mom.
is.
Yeah,
the
don't put your
puppies is the
mom.
thirst trap.
Oh
now?
yeah,
Yes.
if you putting your animal on there as your guy, you're doing it because you
Yeah.
want a woman to be like, oh my god,
Yo, I haven't
that's
been singing
sweet.
in a while. So dudes are posting
Oh, yeah.
pictures
They post
with
their
their
moms.
dogs.
Yes, they post
To get girls.
ex-girlfriends
Oh, dude,
with
yeah.
the emoji face. They do things like that. Like we know that's your ex. Boo. You just like the picture.
Women just see through all guys. Guys are so stupid. We're just dumb, and women.
Right,
just
I
see
was about
through
to
it.
say. So like,
You
there's
can
nothing
read-
we're really doing that
No,
y'all don't know we're doing.
Yeah.
you can see who can hold a conversation by their like what's in their bio. The ones that's like ask anything. Like what?
Damn. See, this is the thing. This is what I was always saying. Like, women are complex because they don't even know what the hell they're doing, and women will admit that. And men, we're not. We're just simple and stupid. It's sweet. It's so obvious everything we're gonna do or say.
But
Yeah.
nowadays we're looking at, like, you just brought up a lot of like social media and like online dating stuff and everything like that. So nowadays we're not even looking at like meeting a person in person. And even if
Not
we
during the
do,
pandemic, are we?
even if we do, we're learning more about them by their social media than
So I
actually
don't-
speaking to them.
Not to cut you off. I don't like to date guys that I meet on social media.
I don't even
because-
have social media, so there you go.
Yeah, mine's going. I have Snapchat and that's it. Like after this, probably 2 more years. That's it. But I don't date guys.
I love the time
because-
limit. Well, 2 more years and then that's it.
Yeah, because they meet you in person. They go, "Wow, you look just like your pictures."
That's sad,
So, like,
right?
you
That's
can't-
sad
you-
that that's.
Yes, like they just.
What is
and then-
that?
and
What,
then
what is
sometimes they
that? That's like a
ghost you.
standard or something you living up to or something? Like,
Yeah, I've been ghosted.
just
after
making sure
that.
you're real.
Yeah,
They expected her
I've
to
been
be like just
ghosted,
hideous.
So, yes.
Yeah, listen,
So-
we all have at least one friend in our social media crew who use every picture they put. You're like, that looks nothing like them in real life.
Catfishing.
Yes.
Every
Yeah,
day.
like it's as close to catfishing as actually like not putting a different person. But you see
Or
the
just
pictures and you're like,
posting.
the fuck, that's not you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that shit. Like, listen, we all want to look our best. I get it, but at least look like you. Don't have this crazy, like airbrushed, fucking crazy
Yes.
angle.
I was a puppy for
The
like a year.
filters.
Yeah,
I was a
filter
puppy for a
bullshit.
year. Absolutely.
What do you mean you're a
I-
puppy? You were like the puppy snap.
I was a puppy filter for a year. Absolutely.
Puppy.
It got to my head. Yes, it got to my head. And one day I woke up and I turned on Snap and I didn't have a filter on, and I was like, I can't use this filter again because I don't know what I look
that
like.
was too much for. It was like a fad, wasn't it? That little puppy shit.
Absolutely, but it still works. It will get you hard eyes in a quick second.
I mean, yeah. I guess, yeah.
Like I don't love it. I'm not into it.
Let me ask you a question though. With what Terrance did, right? Terrance talked to a girl a few times, knew, they had a little bit of relationship starting up, it was only a few days. And then he goes on this raid of I love you, crazy shit. Would you, I feel like most women would be like, I'm out. This guy's kind of a weirdo.
Yes, I would have been out.
Terrance got lucky.
I know I got lucky. I know I got
Yes.
lucky. I'll be the first one to
I don't
admit
think that would have worked with me. I feel like the girl would have been like, well, I'm out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I probably
it
would've
was
been
way
out.
too creepy. It was way too creepy. It was way
On top
too
of the
strong.
actual, when did
But
you
you know
tell
what? I don't think so because Terrance is he gives you a vibe that he's open.
different kind of
So-
creep, right?
Yeah, like he gets like you could tell him anything.
That's actually a good name for the show.
That's absolutely,
Right.
I already wrote it down. It's absolutely the name.
So yeah, he's different. He's not like a sloppy drunk. He doesn't smell of weed. So when you
Nah,
think
Terrance
of
doesn't
him,
do
even
that
if
shit.
he's drunk, you're like, oh my God, this guy could really love me. His shirt probably was pressed very neatly. So
I had a
she
button-up
probably
shirt
had-
on. That's very true.
You think that's what you think she kind of thought part of it was romantic? Like, oh my God, he's
I
like
think
really.
she
I
would've
don't know.
thought-
We
because
definitely gonna
coming
have
from
to ask
him-
her.
Why is Corey? We got to get Corey on this show. That's what the real problem.
Yeah.
Why did you go out? Why did you continue to talk to this creep?
Listen, they both got lucky.
Yeah, I think Terrance knows he got a little luckier. Yeah, I guess. So what do we learn today, Terrance? We learned number one: stop sending any pics of any kind to a woman unless she asks.
Dick pics are played out.
Dick pics are lame, and you're getting made fun of by a group. Imagine your worst nightmare, like you're standing there naked and people are pointing at you. They're literally doing that. They're literally doing that.
At least 5 girls. At least 5 girls.
Yeah, you want to be that guy?
Sometimes I show my mom. Sometimes I show my mom. I'm like, Mom, look at this guy.
Oh man, Terrance, if
like,
anyone's whoever's listening to this, if you ever send a dick pic, you need to remember everything that's being said right now.
And don't remember my name, because if you sent it to me, I probably sent it to my friends. So
there you go. And her mother potentially. That's all.
And
that's
my mom.
Fun.
And her mother.
Absolutely.
That's fun for everybody. That's fantastic. Well, listen.
Someone's mother looking at your dick.
God, how awkward that is, man. Thank God I've never done that. I will say thank you so much for joining us, though. I think this was very good. We're definitely going to have you back on for another segment at some point. Right, Terrance?
Yes, absolutely. And let me know what to say.
No, I mean,
no.
Say what you're saying.
Do that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you said everything perfect. You don't need advice from us.
We're not going to coach you on what to say. Like, otherwise, it wouldn't be a good show.
Like 7 times, what's the topic? He would not tell me the topic.
Yeah, because the point is that we're just trying to get natural. We just want you to come on and say your thoughts. It doesn't have to be anything like proper.
Raw reactions. Here's the thing. This is a very unfiltered. What we do is very unfiltered. It's very like pretty much unpopular opinions, and we're gonna speak how we want to speak. And if you like it, you like it. If not, fuck you. It is what it is. And that's it. If you rock with us, you're gonna love us. At the end of the day, we're good people.
Yes, absolutely, you guys are, and I thank you guys for having me too.
Of course, we're definitely gonna have you on again. Yeah, I'm gonna
appreciate you.
All right, well, thank you once again. How do you say her name, Terrance? I'm already forgetting.
That was great. Toika. Amazing. That was great.
Yes, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. So, Terrance, I want to ask you something before we go. Do curses ever like offend you? Because there's some people who they literally, if you say a curse, it bothers them. They don't like to hear the word.
It's the way it's used.
Well, yeah, I mean it is, but like some people they don't. If you say like, "Oh, God damn it," like because they're maybe like they're religious, that like actually like bothers them.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm actually one of those. I don't say God. I say God.
God damn.
Yeah, that's just God damn.
But I mean, like, do curses ever actually bother you? Like you hear it and you're like, "Oh man, I don't like to hear that." Or is it just one of those things where you're like, well, maybe it's not the right time to say it or whatever it is?
Not curses. The word that I actually don't like that bothers me is the word retard.
Well, yeah,
I don't like when people say retard or retarded. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But curses, no. Like when people use it a certain way, like
hey, I mean,
somebody can come to me like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, and then you're just like, "Excuse me."
Right. It can be taken.
For sure.
Differently, but now someone else can be like, "Yo, what the fuck is up?"
Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, obviously, if someone comes at you, you're like, well, yeah, curses to me, man, I think they mean nothing. Like I think it's not good to give words power, like you can't say them. Like Harry Potter shit, like Voldemort is like they all like don't like hearing it. I feel like it's not good to have that for most things. Like actually have
something power.
Yeah, because then like if it's a word that you think it's bad, then like you just can't say it, and then it's like it makes it like a bigger deal than it is. Like obviously there are words you shouldn't say, like especially like racist type stuff or sexist, whatever they are. But like I don't know. I feel like people shy away from certain words and makes them like taboo and like, oh, we shouldn't say it. It's like it's just a word, like.
I mean, look, you're always gonna offend somebody, right? And I think
that's what the show does.
Yeah, and we spoke about it last time. I'm pretty sure I brought this up about the 10-person rule. It's just how life, the 10-person rule. 5 people are gonna, 4 people are gonna love it.
Yes.
4 are gonna hate it. 2 aren't gonna give a fuck, right? So that's literally life. That's what everything you do in life, because you're just not gonna be able to please everyone. Mm-hmm. And if you really. If you just take that into consideration about how you go about life and how you maneuver, like you'll be fine, because then you'll be like Terrance and Joe. You just won't care a lot about what people think of you.
Yeah, if we can leave anyone with some advice, it's stop caring what people think about you. That goes for any age, any person.
God.
I get it. We all do it in some capacity, but when we were all younger, I think most people like this. It's a big deal. And I think when you get kind of like we talked about, your mid-20s, you realize like you only really need to care what like a handful of people in your life think. Like obviously if my mother thought I was not doing something well, that would mean something to me. But generally, most people mean nothing. It's just their opinions.
Do you
their
realize
opinions.
we're conditioned for approval?
Yeah, I'm sure we are.
From the time we're born, we're conditioned from approval. Like we get applause, and then at school they start giving you reward stars and teachers helper and things like that. Like everything is okay. Like you're conditioned to look for someone else's approval.
I mean, do you think that's a bad thing?
I do. Because I think it hinders people from learning how to just be happy with themselves and what they like and what they want to do. Like a kid completing a project a different way should still be rewarded.
Right, that is you're saying you don't like that we're conditioned to be rewarded, but you're saying that they should be rewarded. So maybe not the way we do it.
I'm saying the way. Yes, I'm saying in the way. Like yeah, for sure. I'm saying the way that we do things or whatever. Like things when people do things untraditionally. Let's take for instance Dennis Rodman. Okay. Untraditional.
Yes, to say the least.
Right, untraditional. So he went about it the complete opposite way of what people would have wanted, but he was a winner still. He was still a winner. He did his
championships
job.
To his name, yeah.
He did his job. And it was frowned upon, even though people love what he did. It was still he was still talked about. He was still frowned upon.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what it was? It was that
your way.
He still played basketball in a fantastic way. It was just his outside of the basketball way of living.
Did he offend anybody?
Did he offend anybody?
Yeah,
I'm sure he did. Yeah,
but like when I say offend anybody, like him dressing up in a dress. That offended people, and it's just like, why the fuck does that bother you?
People like to be offended. We talked about that. That's the world we live in. People love being offended.
Like why him dyeing his hair has nothing to do with anybody else.
But that's just the way. Listen, man, that you are right that we live in a world where it's like we do. I think there's nothing wrong with wanting approval necessarily. Obviously, there's different levels of that. But you are right that there's more than one way. It shouldn't just be like, oh, you did this and that's the way it's supposed to be done. There's different ways you should be able to reward that. And with the Rodman thing, I mean, I don't know. He was different, and I think people just don't like different. Man. People don't like change or different. People just want everyone to kind of. A lot of people subconsciously, unconsciously want everyone to do the exact same thing or whatever.
Yeah, and I hate that. I'm super against.
It depends on what it is. Like with
everybody else,
Kyrie sometimes says stupid things. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. But then it's like, it doesn't offend me. It's more just like an eye roll. And some people, on the other hand, do get really offended. I think.
Listen,
if he says something dumb like the world is flat, I'm just like, I roll my eyes. It's just whatever. Like you don't take that to actual offense. Like who cares that he says that?
Yeah. Go against the grain. Don't
go against the grain just to go against the grain. Only do it if you
don't do it just to go against the grain. Yeah. But what I'm saying is anyone that has ever been great or ever achieved greatness or ever discovered something new had to do it differently. Mm-hmm. In order for them to get that result, they had to do something outside of what everyone else was doing.
That's a good point. Very few people who are like we consider to be like amazing or like legendary or whatever it is, like those people we hold in that regard, most of them didn't really just follow the book and get there. They did something, maybe I'm sure there's someone you could point to, but yeah, I think you're right. I think most people if everyone's going left and you think the best decision is to go right, just go right. Don't go right because you just think it's the opposite of what everyone else is doing. But yeah, I think Terrance is right. Go against the grain if it's necessary, if you believe in it.
Yeah, good trouble.
Yeah, it's a good point. I was thinking about Terrance. Do you think like someone like Dennis Rodman or like Tom Cruise or fucking Denzel Washington, do you think like they go somewhere and someone doesn't recognize them and they're like offended by it? You think so like Tom Cruise has been famous for like quite literally 40 years. 1981 was his first film. Do you think at this point, like you're famous for that long, everyone on earth knows Tom Cruise? You think like he goes in a store? I mean, he probably isn't in very many stores, but you think he goes somewhere and someone doesn't recognize him and he's just like
probably so. But him being offended
I mean, like, not like he wouldn't say anything, but you think like subconsciously, like in his mind, he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You don't know who I am? I'm fucking Tom Cruise."
Who the fuck
or any
I
of
am?
them. Like if you're famous for like decade, like Denzel has been famous since like the mid 80s. Like when you have like 30 years, 35 years now of everyone knows who Denzel is. You think he's just like, what? Like, or just they must have some reaction of like, you don't know who I am, like
I don't know. Part of them might like it, just like to get a breather.
Yeah.
But there's part of them that's probably like, so this person's standing next to me and they just don't care. Like they don't know.
I do think that they do probably enjoy it for the most part, because I think when you're famous that long, it's probably like, this sucks. That's the thing. Like Denzel Washington probably hasn't walked into a store and just gone shopping in probably that most of those years, because he can't. Maybe during COVID he has the mask on, but like he can just walk, like, or you have to go in disguise, which is difficult. Like I'm sure it is kind of enjoyable, but I do wonder like the different reactions, like to certain people, like those people who've been famous for so long, and they're just like, you don't know who I am. Like, are you serious?
I remember there was a video. I remember there was a video.
You Mission Impossible 1 through 5.
There was a video of Michael Jackson, and they had to create a supermarket for him to feel like
Neverland Ranch.
Go to a supermarket. Yeah, they created like a supermarket. Not on Neverland Ranch. It was somewhere else, but he wanted to go to a supermarket. It was like, I can never. It's go
sad,
to a
right? Because he was famous for literally his whole life. When he was a kid, he was in Jackson 5. So he never. He probably was like, I don't even know what the fuck a store is.
Yeah, he's never been able to do that.
That's crazy.
Like, imagine from like your childhood,
literally like 3
never being able to push a shopping cart. You just never was able to push a shopping cart in a supermarket.
This is crazy. But that's why some people why people like who grow up as celebrities or something, or even like someone like Kanye, who didn't grow up a celebrity, but he's been famous for like 20 years.
They go crazy.
Yeah, it's not like they lose touch.
Britney Spears.
In all honesty, they kind of lose touch with reality. And I don't mean like they're literally crazy people, but they lose touch with what being a normal, what 99% of the world lives like. They're so far past, they don't even understand it. And that's not necessarily, and it depends on who you are. You can handle that different ways, but some people don't.
Yeah.
Like Britney Spears had, I think, mental issues because of all the people taking advantage of her, and there's a lot going on with that.
There was a lot going on. There's a good doc on Hulu.
Yeah, they're going. Everyone's talking about that.
Yeah. It's a really, really good doc.
Advantage of, man. Something one of my favorite sayings, Terrance, is without the sour, the sweet's just not as good. Right? I love that saying, and I think it's true. Like, I think you have to experience like a good portion of your life, let's say until you're like 20 or 20s of it not being great. Not bad, but like it's not like you're living this high life, amazing life where you're a multimillionaire. So you can enjoy that and understand what it's like. I think some people just lose track of like being a human,
Yeah.
I mean, Kanye's saying slavery is a fucking choice, I mean, he clearly is off the reservation.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to forgive him about that. We're just going to act like it didn't happen.
Well, that's what's so sad. He still sells out concerts with black people. So I just think people don't care about anything. That's probably.
Actually,
I think we live in a world, Terrance,
bought by a bunch of suburban white kids that could care less or whatever.
But Terrance, that's something we should talk about maybe next week. Is that I feel like we live in a world where like it's consequence free almost. Like if you're famous enough, you can do whatever you want. I mean, Kanye does anything he wants, and then people still love him. Like he still sells out concerts, and so he's a billionaire now. Actually, he said slavery was a fucking choice. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's an insane thing to say. And he always does that shit. So you think
cancel culture is only for certain people?
I think cancel culture is real, but like I think if you're a certain level, or what it is, if you just ignore it. Like if people call for your cancellation, you just fucking ignore it. It'll be fun. It depends on who you are. If you're an actor, it's not necessarily as easy if no one wants to hire you. But hey, if you're like a musician making music, like you can still put out your own music. There's no gatekeepers anymore. Like Kanye doesn't need anybody. He has his own shit. So he can say literally anything and everyone still loves him. Look at Chris Brown. Beat the shit out of Rihanna. Still sells out concerts. He's had multiple. Chris Brown's had multiple instances of like gun violence in his apartment, like people getting shot. People still love that guy. He's awful. I think if people if you get to a certain point and you just are smart enough to ignore things, you can basically do whatever you want.
You also have
look at fucking bro. Sorry,
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen's a little different. I mean, Woody Allen. There's only one thing he's ever been accused of.
He's a creep, Joe.
So I just don't. I'm less. I don't know what I think about that.
Joe, he's a creep.
Okay. But think about what's his name.
You don't want to call him a creep.
Think about O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson fucking murdered people. We all know it's true. And then the years preceding his innocence, he got arrested so many times. He actually got put in jail proper.
OJ did it. We just support the fact that
but he went to jail like multiple times after for robbery and like fraud and all this shit. And as soon as he got out a couple years ago, fucking everyone follows him on Twitter and watches his shit, and he's like Mr. Rogers now. Like it doesn't matter what you do. Like, but exactly, that's exactly right there. You can do whatever you want because you're X person, because you're OJ, because you're Kanye, because you're this person. Like no one should be excited.
Yeah, but isn't that status?
And yeah,
isn't that status, right? That doesn't matter whether you're black or white, whatever. It just matters what you have.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying,
I think level of what you.
I think it's
are.
bullshit, right? Like we're basically saying, like, oh, Kanye, like he's so famous and he's a billionaire, and he's doing all these things. He can say crazy things, and it's fine. And we all just still support him. Like people would just support him.
That's
regardless.
literally how we had a fucking idiot president for 4 years.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is a problem. Because there's too many people like doing whatever they want. And Trump's another one of them. Trump's he literally said whatever he wanted. And people just, oh my God, it's so funny. Ha ha ha. And now he's the president. It's like, well, great. This is my point, Terrance. Like there's people who just can do whatever they want and it just doesn't affect them. And we shouldn't have that in our society.
We shouldn't, but they're also, like I always say, America's full of sheep and America's stupid.
Oh my God. I don't know if it's America or the world, but yeah, I agree. People just do whatever they're told, like whatever.
So when
you like this thing, you do this thing. And
yeah, when you have that, you're just going to have a bunch of people that just don't know how to see beyond the bullshit.
Can we call that the podcast Sheep? That's all it'll be named. Just Sheep. Hey, everybody, welcome to Sheep.
Just you got to be able to see it. You got to be able to see past the bullshit. And once you see past the bullshit, it's either you can accept it for what it is and ignore it, or be a part of it.
That's why people listen to the show, Terrance, so they can see through the bullshit. That's what we do. Bullshit. We cut through bullshit.
I mean, look, I call a spade a spade. I call it is what it is, like, and that's pretty much it. Whether it's a racial issue that, like, and here's the thing. And I hate when people do this, right? I'm black. I'm always going to be black. There's nothing going to change about that, all right?
Never want you to.
But there are things that necessarily I don't agree with, that's going on, like, in my own culture, right? Now, whether I choose to speak on that or not is obviously my choice and my decision, and you as somebody that's not in the culture, you don't necessarily know, so it's kind of like an understanding thing as well. And we talk about that. We have the ability to sit here and talk about that and go about that, how we please. But it's more so about, look, if that's how that's going to be, I'm going to let that be. I don't want no parts of that. I ain't even trying to deal with that.
Right.
I'm going to be in my world. I'm going to do whatever I got to do. And that might sound selfish to some people, right? I had one chick that then we'll go into this. That's not selfish. That's not selfish. Yeah, we'll go into this in another episode.
Yeah.
But I had one chick that I met a few years ago or whatever. And this is during the time I'm dating Corey or whatever. And she asked me, like, was I dating anyone? I was like, yeah, like, my girlfriend or whatever, blah, blah, blah. She asked, like, what race was my girlfriend? I was like, she's Dominican. She was like, oh, you're one of those. And I was like,
oh,
what?
I would have uppercutted her probably right there.
I was like, what? I don't get it. What do you mean?
Hold on, can I take a guess at what you meant?
Take a guess.
You're not dating another black chick and she doesn't like that.
Bingo.
Yep. That to me is one of the stupidest fucking things I've ever heard.
What she told me. That was the first time. Hold on, wait. That was the first time I ever heard that. So, like, I was completely thrown off. Like, yo, what you mean?
The first time I heard that was with Donald Glover. Donald Glover had a kid with like a white chick, and people were like, "Oh, it's so." I'm like, "What the fuck do you care?" Like, I can't believe people actually care about that. Like,
it's a big thing. It's a big thing, and we won't get too deep into this episode because we're at the end of it right now.
It's a mixture of dumb people and sheep, and that's why we get people like the whole world of the thing.
We don't
have time. That's definitely next. I will write that down because I want to talk about that. Actually.
We're out of time for this episode, but we're definitely going to get into it next episode. But it's just, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry,
everyone.
People, just
peeps,
please, individual thoughts will take you a long way.
Ooh, I like that, Terrance. Individual thoughts take you a long way. That is Terrance. That might be one of the best quotes I think you've ever said. It's brilliant. I really love that.
I made up for backcourt.
Yeah, you should have used shit. If you would have hit me with that, I would have fallen off my chair. Holy shit. Okay, Terrance, our hypothetical to take us out. Terrance, if you could pick one thing that you should know how to do but don't, what would that be? Like, for instance,
know how to do, but
should
don't.
like you should like do you know how to like change your oil or like fix your car in any capacity?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, but something like that. Let's say you didn't know that. That's not like, because for me, I think it would be like cooking. Like I can cook if I'm following a recipe, but I'm not the kind of guy who can just like. I have a lot of friends who can just go into a kitchen with some ingredients and go, yeah, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that, and like cook something.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. I like need a recipe, or I don't know what the hell to do.
No. I can look at spices and stuff like that.
Okay, so if you know how to fucking do everything, then Terrance, what's your fucking thing then? Mr. Swiss Army Man?
That's
Think about anything like something you maybe should know how to do, or like not even should, but like something that is it a reasonable thing that like people know that you wish you had. Because mine would be cooking, just the ability to go in and get it done without needing a recipe necessarily.
I don't know. I guess I would say type faster.
That's a good one. Yeah.
You know,
I feel like I'm reasonable at typing.
I recently had to do something, and it was like you got to be able to type 35 words per minute.
That's nothing to 35. You can't be. Come on, you must be able to do 35 a minute.
I wasn't. I was
Terrance,
at 20.
35 is.
I was at 27.
Baby shit, man. What are you doing?
I was at 27.
I bet your son could do it faster than
realized that. I was like, I typed that slow. And
let me ask you a question, Terrance. When you type, do you put your fingers like on the keys and like move your individual fingers? Or you
I kind of
slide, hovering?
like I kind of hover. And
mine hover.
Glide.
You know what's crazy, dude? Letter. I learned how to type properly, technically, when I was in like middle school, but who the hell gave a shit about that? So I just have my hands like hovering. I kind of do that thing. I remember I was at work a couple of years ago and some guy was like, "Is that how you do it?" I never thought about it. And he was like, "Oh, it's crazy. Like hold your hands off. Like, you don't put your," I was like, "No, do people do that?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh," I felt like really awkward. I was like, am I like unprofessional? Anyway, that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Email the show if you'd like. Terrance, hit him with it.
The Gray Area Podcast at gmail.com. Great with an A.
100% nailed it. That's it for us, unless you got anything else, Terrance.
No. Peace to the world. You know, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that.
See you next week.
Put mangoes in smoothies, put mangoes in
just by itself. That's the thing though. I'm saying like everyone knows the banana, the fucking apple, standard fruits. Why is the mango like not one of those fruits?
It's
no reason, is there?
Yeah.
Delicious. I just literally just straight up mango. I mean, it was just mango, it was cut up, nothing special about it. Delicious.